do we think Chelsea will make the top eight, or do also have to go to the playoffs?
Chelsea might be the Chelsea might be ninth because I don't think they'll overtake any of the teams in the top eight right now, apart from Newcastle.
Do you think Liverpool will make the top eight, or do have to go through the playoffs?
N- Nah, they will not make the top eight if they keep playing the way they are playing right now.
6 million ways to die. Choose one.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Hurricane of Football podcast. In today's episode, we'll be discussing the Champions League. We'll be discussing teams in the Champions League and how they've performed so far and expectations for those teams. In this episode, I'm joined by Seth, he's Barcelona fan, and Mark, who is also a Barcelona fan. So you can see there's not really much representation for the other teams. Me, I'm a
Calm
United
down,
fan.
calm down. I'm a United fan, low key. But what is I'm a Barcelona fan?
Yeah, but see, United know the Champions League inside. So like we go manage plus the squad we get ready. So we will
Okay,
try
but
and be fair. We'll try and be fair to the other teams too. So
no,
I
for,
don't
for
know.
for this episode, I'm a Bayern fan. They probably need to pay it in advance, so I'm supporting Bayern.
Yeah, you fair three teams. We go manage and shout. But obviously we will start
I
with
do
Barcelona.
everywhere.
So
Yeah.
let's do it in the way the table looks right now, so that doesn't confuse anyone. So let's start with with Bayern. They are the ones on top right now. So okay, so you talk about since Bayern.
Wait, I don't have the table before me, right?
Okay, then you let me do it. So Bayern, what have you made of their start to the Champions League so far, Ferdinand?
Me, you know, go base the Bayern fan first. Right, Bayern Munich this season, I don't think they've lost a game in any competition so far this season. They've started the season hot. Vincent Company have got them playing like prime. They are prime selves. Harry Kane is playing exceptional football. Luis Diaz left Liverpool and he's balling out. Like I don't really see any weaknesses in their
Okay,
team. They know how to
but wait,
score
okay,
goals.
let me ask you this question. But I do think they can maintain it throughout the whole season.
Well, you can't really tell. It was the same for Bayern the time they were not losing any match, that they can't really maintain it. In the Bundesliga, we are not really concerned about, they will not really be concerned too much about that. So their main focus will be on the Champions League. And in the Champions League, I think they have enough squad depth. Plus the players that are coming back from injury are quality. Like they have enough players to sustain, even if the players currently playing loose form. They have players that will be coming back from injury. Musiala, Alfonso Davies. That's world class players. So I think I'm not too sure they can maintain it, but if they can't really maintain it, but they could. Like you know what I mean? They have the players to be able to maintain that type of form. So right now I
So,
think the very least they will get to is semi-finals.
so I'm kind of. So you still think? Do you think they'll not drop out of the top eight position? Do not get
Oh,
dropped out.
definitely not. I doubt they will drop out.
Okay. Okay. So we are joined by Real Madrid fans right now, Ivan. So we'll get to them too. And so now, based on my call about what I've made about Bayern
So
Munich start to the Champions League.
I feel like they are set on a very positive note because Bayern is Bayern. If you look at the team right now, as you said, they have squad depth and adding Luis Diaz to the attack one. You see what they did to PSG, like Chelsea. This season, I feel like if you compare Bayern to Arsenal, right now people are like Arsenal, are let's say they are vying for the Champions League, this is Champions League, EPL right now, right? Because they have this form that they are maintaining, like you get. But then when you take that into consideration, as compared to Bayern, they've played how many games so far? And they just drew recently their last match,
So they
right?
played
If you compare,
17 and drawn one, 116 drawn one.
yes, that was their last match. The last match before they went to the break.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah,
drew. Even that one, the opponent could have won, but then somehow, some way, they drew their match. Do you get? And I feel
yeah,
like
yeah.
this is very positive form because if you are playing all these matches and people will say yes, Bundesliga, Farmers League, whatever, it doesn't matter. But still, because they played tough opponents in the Champions League and still they're able to beat them. So I think this is Bayern are on a very good form and If they continue like this, they'll be in the top. Probably they might still come on top of the table and you know carry the Champions League trophy. Really, I'm vying for them. I won't
Okay.
lie.
Ivan, what about you? What have you made about Bayern Munich start so far to the Champions League?
Bayern has been in peak form this season, and um, they are one of my top contenders for the UCL this season. So they are definitely qualifying for the top eight. Yeah, and
Looking at their remaining matches too, it is easy. Arsenal is the toughest match they have remaining. After that is Sporting Lisbon, Union Saint Gilloise, then PSV Eindhoven. I think they are set for the top eight. I think it will either finish between first or second. I don't
Top eight
think
is
they'll
too
go.
wide. Top two,
Is it?
top two. I'm
Yeah,
like
yeah,
top
top two.
eight
I
is
think
too wide. Top two, top two, even top one, crowd. Because let's face it, Arsenal might concede or lose a match in the Champions League because Arsenal is Arsenal. We all know.
even the next team we are going to is Arsenal. So Arsenal, they are second on the
Arsenal is
table,
Arsenal.
and they are playing Bayern Munich next. So like I
And
asked earlier, Ferdinand, how have you made of Bayern Munich? Sorry, of Arsenal's start to the also to the life in the Champions League. Have they surprised you in any way, or what they have done so far? Expected them to have to do what they have done so far.
I mean, I expected more. They've been treading water. Like before I move on to Arsenal, I forgot to mention Bayern Munich have only conceded 3 goals in this Champions League. They have a better defense in the Champions League currently than even Arsenal. Arsenal, considering defense is their best attribute in the Champions League, I think they've conceded like 10 goals this in the Champions League this season. And 10 goals is not what I expected. Their defense. Wait, what am I reading? They've not conceded a
10.
goal in the
what
league.
are you reading? What are you reading?
They've
Ah,
not
nah, nah.
conceded.
When did they concede 10 goals?
I'm sorry, I'm lying to the viewers. They have not
You
conceded
are
10 goals.
calm
Ah,
down. I
because
understand you.
because I don't remember any match where they considered any goals. I was like,
I don't know.
why?
I saw goal difference and I read it as the number of goals they've conceded. That one stuff
Ah,
is 11. I got 10 from. So I'm sorry. This is fake stats. Arsenal are winning the Champions League. I'm joking. Anyway, Arsenal this season in the Champions League they've been solid. Like obviously solid. They've not conceded a goal since how many months they've played 4 matches. They've not
yeah, they
conceded
played
one goal
for.
there. Yeah, and defense is their best attribute. They scored 11 goals, so obviously their problem in the Premier League is not in the Champions League. They are scoring more open play goals in the Champions League
And wait,
compared to
I'm
the
coming on that note.
And
Let me ask you.
you get 4 goals. Too.
Wait, but let me ask you this
Okay,
question.
4 goals.
Don't you think that's why they are scoring more goals in the Champions League because Champions League teams are more open than the Premier League? The Premier League, more teams will sit down, will sit in a low
Six
block
back
when they
then.
face them.
Yeah, but they'll still have to score the goals. So like they are it's good that they are scoring open play goals. They also still score set piece goals in the Champions League. So I feel like in the Champions League, Arsenal should really go far, but Arsenal you can't really predict them. I can't
Arsenal is
speak
catching
for
now.
them.
Like, bro,
Are you down with your point?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have much to say about Arsenal.
Okay, okay. Then, Bismarck, what about what have you made of Arsenal's start to the Champions League? Like, did you expect them to go like 4 games without conceding and be strong defensively like that?
not really. I mean, they all surprised us. I feel like Arsenal this season, should I say surprising? Not really. Because back previous seasons, they start the season strong and somehow, some way, they always end up bottling it. But I mean, Arsenal is Arsenal. I'm not trying to say much on that, but Arsenal is Arsenal. We all know that. So come January, come next game to come, we all know where they'll sit. So I can't really say much for now. But Arsenal is Arsenal. So let's leave it at that.
Okay, Ivan, you support Arsenal in the Premier League, so what have you made of their start so far?
they've been really good. They've been very good in the UCL this season. And although most of their matches, it hasn't been against like tough teams apart from Atletico. So and even with the Atletico match, it was a very good game. 4-0. That's very good. But then they are still yet to face like teams like Bayern, Inter, and Club Brugge. So yeah, I think their next 3 matches would decide how good they will be this season. Yeah. in the Premier League, they've proven to be a formidable team, but in the Champions League, they still have a long way to go. So although I'm rooting for them to perform well, but then I'm not expecting much.
Okay, but so far they have done well. They also have 12 points. The next games against Bayern Munich, then Club Brugge, the Inter away, then the last match against Kairat. I also feel like they also be in the top eight. They will not drop out of the top eight. Then the next team is Inter. Inter's own. Okay, so now let me ask you, Ferdinand, what have you made about Inter's start so far? But let me make it broad. Generally, not only in the champions but also in the season, because after they lost Inzaghi and the way the Club World Cup went, people felt like Inter would struggle this season. But I think in Serie A they are second, either first or second. I think they are either first or second. So what have you made of their start so far in the Champions League? Bismarck, what have you made of Inter start so far in the Champions League?
So Inter has been,
Mm,
should I say, well, they they are like more or less like us now, if I'm to say that, because Inter, I don't even know what to say. They play good football. I mean, they play football, but then it's like the teams they've met. What it's not any better teams, right? It's just
Yeah, the
the
quality
normal,
they
normal.
faced the quality they faced is not really been. They will be tested in their next 4 games. Their next 4 games, they will play Atletico Madrid, Liverpool, Arsenal, and Dortmund. That's where we see really the strength of. I feel like we see
Atletico
really the
Madrid,
strength of
Liverpool. I feel
Arsenal.
the next Liverpool has not been on form. Dortmund to nothing better. So probably I think Arsenal will be a tough match. And Atletico to well those that one to is
Atletico
another
Madrid,
league.
they blew hot and cold, so you never know. But they
Well,
are
you
playing at
get
home. Unless they are
and
playing Atletico Madrid home, so it could be tough.
well yes, but then I feel like Inter should have at least 2 or 3 wins out of those 4 matches if they really want to like make the top eight. So I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
I
yeah.
think probably top eight they will see them inside that one. Yeah, it's not really
Yeah,
making.
the top eight. I think we'll see them inside. So Ferdinand, what about Ferdinand? Yeah, what have you been about Inter start to the Champions League?
Inter, I've not really watched many of their matches, but based on their results so far this season, they're playing. It seems like they've carried on from last season. This season, they've not drawn a single game, even in Syria, or a loss. So if they carry this, I don't know how sustainable this form will be, because they are not going to beat every team they meet in the
They lost
champion.
in Serie A. They lost to Napoli. They lost in
Yeah,
Serie A
I'm
3-1.
That's the thing right
yeah,
now because Napoli weren't on form like in the Champions League. If you watch like the champion, they lost 7-2 or 7 this to
Okay,
PSG.
6 to
Just
6
imagine
to PSG.
6-2. Just
Yeah.
imagine, oh, and they Inter lost to Napoli. Like I don't get the whole. I know football is just come somewhere right now.
Serie A itself is unpredictable. Like I think the point difference between the top six or so is like 3 points or so. So that one there is very tight there. So yeah, I feel like if at me Inter, I feel like they also do not drop from the top eight. I don't think they'll drop from it. So now let's go to Man City. Man City. Okay, best my Man City. How have you
I
seen their
think
start to Champions League so far?
I think they drew one game to within Napoli,
Yeah,
right?
Monaco.
That's Monaco or Napoli.
Is it
No,
Monaco? The
Monaco.
one.
They lost. They won to Napoli 2-0. Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
been it's been steady wins after that. I think
yeah, yeah,
City are picking form because I think they started the Premier League very poor. If I'm not telling lies, there was a point
yeah,
where they
yeah,
were
yeah,
losing games or they were drawing games. I think,
yeah,
and after that, after they've actually picked form. I think top eight is inevitable for them. I mean, City, come on,
yeah, yeah, top eight. I
chasing
think
chasing
City top
Champions
eight.
League two at the same time. As now they are coming
In the
for you.
form that Erling Haaland in the
Yes,
form that Haaland is inside right now.
it's another advantage to them. So I think top eight, oh, they'll definitely make it. If not fifth or fourth, they'll still be in the top eight. So I mean,
Okay.
City.
Ferdinand, you also agree City will be in the top eight.
yeah, as much as I hate them, I think they're way too good. Like, especially in the Champions League against teams, especially how they are playing this season. This season, they're allowing other teams to hold the ball much more. So, like, based on how they are playing, I think the Champions League faced them much more. And matches that they were losing or drawing last season, like that Sporting game, and even was it PSV, one of those teams. Matches like
Yeah,
that, I don't. those type of matches will happen this season. So I think
Um, one of their matches that I'm very interested in it when they face Real Madrid. They will face Real Madrid next 2 weeks.
But the
Where
thing is,
10th December.
Yeah,
Ivan,
I didn't get a question.
I said, what have you made of City's start so far? And as they'll be playing Real Madrid very soon, how confident are you that Liverpool will be able to beat them?
Like 70% confident.
Wow, there you
Uh,
go.
oh, honestly, I feel like it's going to be a tight match. It's going to be a tough match with Haaland in this godly form and Mbappe too. Yeah, so it's going to be a very very tough game, but I expect my side to come out on top. So
if
yeah,
people lost to
And
Liverpool,
in
oh,
Bra-
Ivan, if people lost to Liverpool, oh, Liverpool are not on form. Just a reminder.
Liverpool
so
is not.
so
Liverpool is
Samu
not.
down,
Man.
Samu down, and City now on form this season. So
So
in
get
City's
imagine
matches, they are playing
Liverpool
at
is
the
not.
Bernabeu.
it doesn't matter. So I mean, so with Haaland in form, I'm sorry, bro. Let's lose it.
why they
City's
talk like
City's remaining
Mbappe will
City's
come.
re-
Come again.
They talk like
City's
Mbappe no.
remaining. He said,
Mbappe was in form, but so they lost to Liverpool. So I don't see what
But
Mbappe being in
Liverpool
form.
no be Man City. Liverpool no be Man
Is it?
City. Real Madrid
And
go last
ah,
man.
are you
Man
confident in that?
City beat Liverpool. Why?
Yes, they
Yeah,
beat them
that
like 3-0
Yeah,
last. So what are you
yeah,
saying?
then are you saying Manchester United will beat Real Madrid if they meet right now?
can
Yeah,
even talk
Yes,
about
yes.
Champions League. We're
United
talking
to bring
Champions League. United
Madrid
to the
starting
side.
11.
United
We
no
will
demo.
beat them. We will beat them, and they will go back, and they should bring their team B to Sana beat them again.
Let's move down. United to the side. United know the Champions League inside. So City's next match is against Leverkusen, Real Madrid, Bodo Glimt, and Galatasaray. I think for PSG, I'll speak about PSG briefly. I don't want to spend much of. For PSG, I'll say that their start to the Champions League has been consistent. They beat Barcelona, they beat Leverkusen, they lost to Bayern Munich, and they also beat Atalanta. But they have not played really, really well. They have been consistent. Also in league, and they keep dropping some silly points, and sometimes you need last minute winners. So I feel like with PSG, they will still make the top eight, but they have not been really been that convinced like how they were at the beginning of this year. So let's see. The remaining matches are against Tottenham, Bilbao, Sporting, and Newcastle. So now the next team that I want to speak about is Newcastle.
Oh,
Do you
Seth,
think Newcastle too? Yeah,
Seth, you know, ask our
yeah.
opinion of PSG.
Okay. I think Bismarck said it will be too long if you talk about them. Okay, let me ask you. So what's your opinion about PSG?
I mean, like PSG last season, so they obviously didn't start the Champions League well, but they finished it well. And this season too, they've been plagued by injuries and they've been struggling with injuries a lot this season. So I feel like once those injured players come back and join the squad, I think they probably wouldn't finish in the top eight right now. But later in the Champions League, they'll come back to their form of last season, the ending of last season, and they'll finish the season harder. I think I'd expect them to get to the semifinals also.
Okay. Bismarck.
I agree with him. I don't think PSG will make the top eight. I mean, judging by their form, as you said, they have been on and off. And I'm looking at the points right now, and it's not really any, like the table right now. It's not really any big points difference. Because if the teams at the back decide to sit up and win, let's see, the rest of the next matches, the top eight will be like really tight. Because it's just like 2 or 3 points difference. Like you
Yeah,
get.
yeah. The point difference is not that big.
I feel like they will have to play their distance, the playoffs, and come back and prove themselves better. You get. By the top eight, I'm
Okay,
not really too sure.
okay. Ivan.
Yeah, I think it's possible they can be qualify to the top eight, but then it's going to be difficult. And uh, with all those injuries that they are having this season, I doubt. I don't know, but then I feel like it's possible they might make it to the top eight.
So you think they will make it or they will not make it?
I think they will.
Okay, okay. So the next team for me is Newcastle. Do you think Newcastle by the end of the Champions League group phase in January, Newcastle still be in the top eight? Let me
Def-
start with Ferdinand.
Definitely not. They won't. Like I think Newcastle. I don't know whether this is the strategy they are doing, whether they are prioritizing the Champions League instead of the Premier League. But if that's the case, then it's a bad idea, and I don't think it's sustainable because so far they've not. When they met Barca, who won between them? Was it a draw?
Barca
They
won
won.
2-1.
Barca won 2-1.
Yeah. So obviously, if they meet big teams in the Champions League, they are not going to win. So if focusing on the Champions League is their main aim, I think that's not the right way to go about it. And based on their form in the Premier League right now, I don't think they'll match their performances together. I don't think they'll improve their performance or maintain their performances in the Champions League as of this moment. I think they'll drop because the other teams, if Newcastle are not playing at home, the other teams will capitalize on that opportunity and Newcastle will
Okay,
finish below top eight.
Newcastle's and coming based on come Newcastle's remaining fixtures do not that bad. They play
Yeah, that's what I'm
Marseille,
talking.
Leverkusen, and PSV and PSG. I mean, I can see them beating Leverkusen and Eindhoven. So maybe
And
Marcel
even
and
Marcel to have not been on form recently. Like
yeah. So I don't know.
they
Maybe
might
that
scrape
that match could be a draw. Then PSG the
a
last match.
win.
So you never know. So, Smart, what do you think? Do you think they'll still be in the top eight by the end of the group phase
I feel like
of the
they
league
might
phase?
have the possibility of making it at the bottom of like just that number eight there. They will just take that spot because the rest of the matches aren't really that. So the matches have
Yeah,
been
their
bad.
matches are
The
favorable.
Champions League, Leverkusen to on and off. They will draw today, lose tomorrow, win today. And PSG, well, that might be their most toughest opponents, if I'm to say that, because PSG can decide to sit up and win them, or they might just mess up, play draw, or might even lose. So it's a 50 possibility that they might just end up in the top eight.
Oh, okay, okay, Ivan.
I don't really have a lot to say about Newcastle, but I don't think they will make it to the top eight.
Okay, okay. So the next team is Real Madrid. This one, let me start with Ivan. Ivan, what have you
Yeah.
made about of your the whole season in general? Like, I happy with how the season has been so far
Oh, this the season is
in
still
the
young.
Champions League. I mean the Champions League.
That's what I'm saying. The season is still young. We've started on a good note with just one loss and um one a loss against one big rival. So there's still a lot for us to do pertaining our squad rotations uh, and the coming fixtures,
The
especially
coming
the match
fixtures is
against
easy.
City. Because if you are to lose against City, that would be like losing against
It's
two
not if you
Premier
are
League
to,
teams. We are not losing. Relax. We are
I'm
not
just, it's
losing.
not if you are losing. I'm just telling you like your face in advance. You are
We
losing.
are not.
It's happening. Like just accept it.
That's not happening.
But
Let's be
even
realistic.
if you are to lose to City, your remaining matches are easy. Olympiacos or their manager
Yeah.
Olympiacos, Monaco and
Monaco.
Benfica. Benfica.
You know one thing about
Those are
Benfica
manageable
when it
matches.
comes to Spanish teams. You know one thing about Benfica when it comes to Spanish teams. That's when they decide to play good football. I don't know what sort of juju or what sort of what they are using, but then for real, look what they did to Barca last season
Yeah,
and
yeah.
decide to
But I
clear
think
Barca.
this season, mom,
But
This season to they have not been on
okay.
form. That's the thing. But then you never
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Madrid right now, Madrid, you can't tell. Well,
So
you
let's
are you are going well, man, but I don't think it will reach anywhere. Let's be honest.
that's your opinion. That's your opinion.
Oh, yeah. That's yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah, yeah,
yeah, that
that's
one
your
yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, but then like if you are being honest, you were to see how you played against Liverpool.
No,
Like if you
no, no,
watch,
no, no.
no, like let's be honest over here. See how you played against
Yes,
Liverpool.
I'm being honest.
Yes, and if you watch the match, a struggling Liverpool was able to win you. Just imagine a struggling Liverpool. So I mean, and you want to play City? Like let's be serious about it, bro.
that match
The
there.
way you are underestimating like our performance is like serious. Like yeah, our
No, do
performance
you know why
against
I'm talking
Liverpool
like
was
that?
very poor. I accept that. But then
Hmm.
um Liverpool, what you have to understand is Liverpool is not Man City. Like just
Hmm.
understand.
That's one reason why you should be worried because Man City is better than
Exactly,
I'm not.
Liverpool.
I'm not. I'm not really
exactly.
worried about City. City is playing well, all right. But then I'm not
How do
really
you say
worried.
this better Madrid? No, I don't
So wait,
understand. How do you?
Were you worried about Liverpool?
They weren't. Oh.
Um,
They weren't.
not really.
You weren't. Let's be honest.
So
Because you thought you
and
were playing
Liverpool,
for you.
and people made Liverpool play their best game. So the Liverpool fans even thought that they were back. We will see. December, 10th of December is not far.
We'll be there.
God willing, we'll see.
We'll be there.
Mm,
We'll be there.
when you lose in the group, we'll be there.
Yeah,
Ferdinand, so what have you made about Real Madrid start to the Champions League this season?
Real Madrid are a complicated team to talk about. Their record so far this season, like some of the bigger teams per se, they have not really been great, but it's still the beginning of the season. So their forwards start clicking and things start making sense between them. I mean, we've been saying this since last season, and I don't know, Mbappe and Vinicius, and the last person on the right side, if they're able to figure out who is the main starter and they find some consistency in the forward lines, I think it could help them a bit start performing better. I think Xavi Alonso is a good coach. I think they should finish in the top eight.
Okay, okay. So now the next team is Liverpool. Do we think Liverpool will finish in the top eight? Before we dive deep inside, do we think Liverpool will finish in the top eight? Yes or no?
I'm coming in with
We
their
have
fixtures.
You said?
Looking at their fixtures, I think they might win that 2 out of 4 games left. I think they are playing Inter, they are playing PSV, they are playing who again? Marseille and
They are playing
Karabag.
Marseille and yeah.
Karabag. Oh, I think they might make the top
you
eight.
said
Come again.
you said that, but like you are considering the matches they've played and not the teams that are below them that have the potential to pass them. Chelsea,
The
Barcelona,
team,
Tot-
don't mention Chelsea. Like leave that women's fellowship team out of the conversation.
Oh, now we have to talk about Chelsea. Yeah,
No, I
we'll
mean
talk
when you're
about
talking
them.
about
But
top
very
eight,
soon.
don't mention that team. Like the top eight. They shouldn't come to it. They can only dream
Okay.
about it.
Okay. Well,
Shout.
the Chelsea fans are here to defend themselves today, so we'll leave it. We'll leave it there for them. So Ferdinand, do you think what about? Do you think Liverpool made the top eight, or do have to make do with the playoffs? Ferdinand.
Did I not just speak about? I think wait, Liverpool. Nah, it was Real Madrid I just spoke about. Liverpool. Nah, they will not make the top eight. They don't have the. I don't if unless Mo Salah performs a miracle and start playing better, and Ekitike gets back the form that he had at the beginning of the season. Based on how they are playing currently, no, they will not make the top eight.
Okay. Okay. Ivan, do you think Liverpool will make the top eight, or do have to go through the playoffs?
N- Nah, nah, they will not make the top eight. They will not make the top eight if they keep playing the way they are playing right now. So
Yeah,
Honestly, me myself, I don't think they will make the top eight. Liverpool, I don't think they'll make the top eight. Another team I don't think they'll make the top eight is Tottenham. I don't think Tottenham will make the top eight. Come, should we dive deep in Tottenham, or we should just give brief this one about it? About
I really.
then we'll do like maybe 2 sentences or something about. So I don't think they'll make it because they can't score goals. They don't know how to score goals. So and they don't really keep a lot of clean sheets either. So I don't think they'll make top eight. I think they have to do the playoffs. Ferdinand.
Yeah. I think if one player has to keep carrying them, Kudus, then they will not because right now Kudus is injured. When will he come back and how much they rely on him for their goals and everything? And if Van de Ven, Van de Ven consistently gets injuries every season. So if he gets his scheduled injury this season, they are not getting anywhere in the Champions League. I don't even think they might qualify in the playoffs.
Okay, that's a bold statement. Bismarck, where do you think Tottenham will finish in the playoffs area or top eight? Bismarck.
I'm like, I'm looking at the fixtures right now, and I think they might scrape an easy 3 out of 4 wins. But then the rest of the teams too, they also want to win. But I think the playoffs now that they will go. So I don't know.
Yeah, and I think playoff. The top eight is. I feel like on the day before the final game, the top eight will be too crowded. But that final game will determine where most of the teams will finish. I feel like
But
the final game to determine where most of the team will finish.
and I think
Um,
the points might be like the same points, but then at least goal difference will tell which team will be in the
yeah,
top
goal
eight.
difference
Because
to also be part. Goal difference to also be
the way
part.
I'm looking at the thing,
And and another thing to
Bismarck.
that, I think another thing that
yeah,
might play a factor will be if you are playing a team that's already out. or you're playing a team that's also fighting. Because if you are playing a team that's already out, I think them do not really have much to be playing for, especially if that team is playing away. But if you are playing a team that's also vying for places, it might be more complicated. So we'll see how it
Yeah,
goes. Evan,
Yeah,
do you think will make Tottenham? Do you think they make top eight or playoff?
playoffs, playoffs.
Then let's move on to Barcelona. So with Barcelona, I think they'll make. I think they'll make the. I think top eight. It all starts from the match against Chelsea. First thing we have to beat Chelsea, then we have to go to beat Frankfurt. I feel like we have no choice than to win the remaining four matches left. We have no choice.
it's it.
Yeah, I'm coming. I'm coming. So I feel like they have to win against Chelsea. They play Frankfurt at home. Their last two matches are manageable. But knowing the way Barcelona's defense is right now, yeah, it's against Lavia Prime Copenhagen. I don't know if we keep a clean sheet. But okay, those are in January. In January, who knows? That time things might have changed and might have figured out their stuff together with the Highline. So those ones, if they have figured out those things by then, I think those ones should be formalities. But until then, we'll see. But against Chelsea, we have to beat Chelsea. Chelsea and Frankfurt, you can't drop any more points in those matches. Otherwise, we might have to go through the playoffs. So, Bismarck, what do you think?
Me, I think me, I want us not to make the top eight. We should make the playoffs. Ask me why.
Why?
Why? Because I feel like we need to play those games so that we'll be on our toes and like stay informed and figure out how to make the Highland better. Like, you get what I'm saying? Because right now, if you make the top
Yeah,
eight, you'll be sitting
honestly.
there comfortable, like waiting for like fixtures and let the people come and play the playoffs finish. Then like before they'll pair us together to with who will play. So let us not make the playoffs, right? Hey, let us not make the top eight. Let's play the playoffs. Then there will be
So that
informed.
you ginger them.
We'll,
You feel like
you get
if you
yes,
get at this one, they'll be relaxed too much.
you bar up. So let us make the like play the playoffs. Then we'll figure out how to make our defense better. And like you never know. Then last we carry the Champions League. Then you see you. But right now, if you make the top eight, we'll be relaxed, sitting there doing nothing. Cooling. Look at Yamal. We'll be chilling with all the babes in thing.
Okay, okay. So Fred, now what do you think?
Think Barcelona will carry the group. They'll not even finish in the playoffs. They'll finish below everybody in the Champions. Nah, but on a more serious note, Barcelona this season, I think if they get Pedri back, they'll perform better than how they've been performing so far. Like if Pedri played in that club, the chances he'd create would be more than the amount of chances they conceded against
Celta Vigo.
club club Brugge. Like
They're
is
talking about Club Blues.
a Champions League. Yeah. So like they need Pedri, even though he will not stop them from uh, conceding chances from the high line. His presence there will give them more control in games. You create more chances. If Barcelona have the ball, they'll concede less chances. So the presence of Pedro will be vital for them to finish in the top eight. I think they'll finish above teams like Tottenham, Chelsea. Who was that team? I think they'll finish above PSG and
And
some
probably
one other
Newcastle.
team. Yeah, Newcastle. Newcastle.
And even Liverpool, I feel like they might even finish ahead of Liverpool too. Okay. So Ivan.
Yeah. So for Barca, I'm not expecting them to make the top eight, but then, but then they can. They can. Only if they change, they fix their Ashao highline. Because right now, their highline is exposed and the NT teams are taking advantage of it. And if they are to go into other their next fixtures with that same strategy, I think their chance of making the top eight is very, very low. Even the playoffs cry ahead. Yeah, so they can make the top eight, but then it depends on um their strategy going into their next fixtures.
Okay. So now with Chelsea. Chelsea, do we think Chelsea will make the top eight? Or do we also have to go to the playoffs?
Chelsea might be the Chelsea might be ninth because I don't think they'll overtake any of the teams in the top eight right now, apart from Newcastle. But since I think Barcelona will be. I don't think Chelsea will be in the top eight. So I don't think they'll. They are getting better though, and returning players like Palmer and Delap in the
So
Champions League will
as I was
give
saying for
them
Chelsea,
another boost in the
let's
in the
so
attack.
so after Chelsea, then we'll summarize the rest of them. So I'll just after Chelsea, I'll just mention the club name. Then you see, I'll ask playoff or this one playoff for if they'll be eliminated or this one. Then we'll just do for quickfire to summarize the rest of them. So Chelsea, do you think they'll make the playoffs, or sorry, do you think they would qualify for top eight? Or if you make the playoffs, who knows? You never know.
Well, their last match losing, drawing to Carabao 2-2, that was unacceptable. And I don't know what Maresca is doing with those boys over there. So I don't think they'll make the top eight. Playoffs is the like the next is their best option. Probably playoffs, then semi-finals, then they'll drop out from going to they don't
Man,
cook.
their fixtures are not that difficult after Barcelona. After
Who are
Barcelona,
who
they
are
play
they?
Atalanta, Pafos, and Napoli. Napoli in the
Bro,
Champions League have not been good.
they drew to
So,
Carabao. I don't expect nothing better from that bomb of a club.
okay. Chelsea
But then
fans
who
is
knows?
attacking your club.
Me, I always attack them. They might surprise us, but I don't expect anything better from them.
Okay, so now so now let's do quick fire. Sporting Lisbon, playoff for top eight or getting eliminated. Which one?
Playoffs,
Playoff
Okay, also agree playoff. Dortmund.
playoffs.
eliminated.
Hey,
So I think that Dortmund don't not even make top 24.
Where are they right now?
They are 14th.
Yeah, eliminated.
Okay,
hey,
that's a
what's
bold take. That's a bold take.
Those unreliable people
Karabakh.
were eliminated.
He said Karabakh eliminated.
Yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah.
Karabakh have okay. Karabakh have 7 points. It's possible that they can be eliminated. Then Atalanta.
playoffs?
Atlanta.
Yo, yeah, Atalanta.
Play-
Another on and off team. Well, playoffs,
Okay. Atletico Madrid.
Playoffs,
playoffs.
Okay. Then let's round it off with Juventus. Because right now Juventus are 26.
26.
On the table at the moment.
playoffs.
So would they make playoffs or they be eliminated?
They'll make the
Eliminated.
playoffs.
I don't think they'll
Napoli.
make it.
Napoli are 24th. Whether playoff or eliminated.
Playoff.
Okay. So that was all. That was all for the Champions League show.
That's all the teams.
So, is that
Is that all the teams?
if okay? No, but if I can go through all of them.
I mean, Carrots are Martin and
Okay,
Papos
okay,
and things.
okay,
All those
okay,
people they don't
okay.
deserve to
Then
be
let me
talked
go.
about.
Okay, let me go through. PSV. Do you think PSV playoffs or eliminated?
I mean, I think they'll make the playoffs.
Okay. Ferdinand.
Playoffs.
Pafos. Playoffs or eliminated?
Eliminated.
Eliminated.
But I think one of those two teams who might surprise us, either Karabag or Papos. I think
Okay.
one of them has been very good. Like
Yeah,
so
yeah,
one
yeah.
might one might get a
Yeah.
playoff.
Then Monaco. Monaco are 19th at the moment. Playoff or eliminated. Because they
Eliminated.
have not
Playoffs.
really been that good in the Champions League.
Because you
Me,
guys
I'll
see
go for
now.
eliminated.
So if everybody's playoffs for you.
Now,
Leverkusen.
now something like this eliminated.
Leverkusen rather, you're choosing them to be eliminated.
Eliminated.
Okay.
As they sack Ten Hag, then I know say they no get future.
No, but
Frankfurt.
they won like seven something. No,
They lost
Yeah,
7
but they've
Leverkusen.
considered 10.
Yeah, they lost 7-2 to this one. To PSG.
I mean that's PSG.
Yeah.
Yes, with a red card. They had a red card. I forgot.
Oh,
PSG
nah,
also had a red
bro.
card. It was 10
That was
against
like
10.
that was later. That was later.
Nah. PSG also got a red card in the first half.
But PSG is PSG. Like let's be serious. PSG is PSG.
Shit.
Okay. Okay. Marseille, where do you see them finishing?
The guys
Playoffs
sit in the
or being
house.
eliminated?
The guys sit in the house. Sorry for them.
Playoffs.
Okay. So, Ferdinand, playoffs.
Playoffs. Playoffs.
Club Bruges.
Top
You
8.
said Bruges playoffs.
Top
Bruges
8.
top
Top
8.
8. Yes.
Okay.
I'm joking. Yeah,
This
Now,
man
now you
keeps
for
playoff.
Club
they are 22nd at the moment. They are saying top 8.
Eh,
Unless a
so,
miracle wins in the next four games. So,
Okay.
you know, are they red
Ivan,
squad do?
oh, matter.
Ivan, where do you
Yes,
see
yes.
Club Bruges finishing? The playoffs or they'll be eliminated?
Playoffs.
What about Frankfurt
Yes.
eliminated?
I don't really know unless I check their fixtures. I've not really
The,
seen their
their next,
fixtures.
their Frankfurt to play. They'll play Atalanta, Barcelona, Karabakh, and Tottenham.
Hey.
Eliminated.
Then playoffs will be very difficult.
Yeah, because playoff, there's a lot of teams fighting for playoff position.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they are
Especially if you are saying teams like Liverpool not make the top 8. So playoff position go be crazy.
yeah.
So you are saying eliminated.
yeah.
Eliminated, but they have a slight chance of
Okay.
qualifying for playoffs.
Then so Napoli, why are we agreeing playoffs or eliminated?
I think they might make it to
Playoff.
the playoffs.
I was say eliminated. No content Champions League can never be trusted. I was say eliminated.
Playoffs.
Okay. So now Athletic Bilbao, playoffs or eliminated.
Eliminated.
Bismarck.
That team, I can't even tell, but I don't know. I think they should go and sit in the house and come back next year.
So I'll also go for eliminated. They have not done really well in the Champions League. I think they have won only one game also against. I think the game they won was against Pafos. If I'm not wrong, I think Pafos was the only game they won. Yeah, no, it was Karabakh rather. They beat Karabakh 3-1. And their next matches are Slavia Praha, PSG, Atalanta, and Sporting Lisbon. If
Are
Nico if
eliminated.
Williams doesn't show up, he said,
They are going to be eliminated.
yeah, man, I feel like they'll be eliminated.
The
Union
Carabao
San Gelois. Ferdinand, where do you think Union San Gelois will finish?
30th.
Yeah, the rest of the teams, I think the rest of the teams can agree that they'll be eliminated. But Villarreal, they shock me. Oh. They are third in La Liga. They are 32nd here. Benfica 35th on the table. And Ajax are last. Ferdinand,
Yeah,
Ferdinand, one
yeah.
of the what if episodes, we have to talk about Ajax. The fall of Ajax for me is something that needs to be studied. The way Ajax have become bad ever since Ten Hag left. It's not because of Ten Hag have become bad, but ever since we have to discuss it because it's not. It's something that to this day me issue still some hard for me to understand.
Oh, wow.
So we have to discuss it to details. So yeah, I think
Yeah.
that was all. That was all.